Well, second movie in and I'm already starting to rethink this series. Alright, let's go. Second film review is Laws of Attraction. It was released in 2004. For this series, I watched it for the first time. It stars Julianne Moore, who I've only seen in Big Lebowski and Jurassic World 2: The Lost World, and Pierce Brosnan. Wait, what? Brosnan? Yeah, Pierce Brosnan's in this turd, hot off of his stint as Big Papi James Bond. After playing one of the most famous machismo action stars of all time, right after Everything or Nothing, he stars in a rom-com. Alright, this film follows Julianne Moore's character Audrey and Pierce Brosnan's character Daniel. Right away we get an interaction between the two, where Daniel is hired by the opposition of Aubrey's current case. All we get is a few moments of interaction where Daniel gets an extension for the case that Aubrey already had in the bag. Important note is neither of them have ever lost a high profile case. Then soon after, Aubrey makes her way to Daniel's place to go over the case. She basically B&Es into his place and fucks shit up. Both meet again at a symposium where Aubrey gives a speech and Daniel basically puts Aubrey on blast. A whole bunch of bullshit happens and Daniel wins the case. Next we get a montage that revolves around a bunch of high profile cases where Aubrey and Daniel trade wins. It's pretty weird that there are a lot of high profile cases where both are in the mix, and there's a lot of news coverage of it too. Throughout all of this, both have several interactions where we get the notion that Daniel is in love with Aubrey. Aubrey on the other hand conveys that she isn't, but as the audience we can see that she does like him. I mean, they already slept with each other, like almost right after they met. Either way, let's continue. Now we get into the main case for the film. I mean, we're already 2/3 in, but the stakes are raised and some random bullshit like that. Daniel gets the wife of a popular rock star and Aubrey gets the aforementioned rock star. These two clients are hard to work with and are batshit crazy. Montage ensues that shows that very dynamic. While it may seem they're able to solve the case out of court, both parties want this shitty castle in Ireland, so it continues. Both make their way to the castle, interview the help to get their information to use for their case. As luck has it, they are there when a town has a festival about some bitches or some shit. Both party up and oops, they got married. When they realize this, Aubrey flips her shit and tries to figure something out. Daniel again is in love and implies that he's okay with it.
Then we gotta find the guy that did this and tell him we didn't mean it.
What if I did mean it?
Of course you didn't. How could you? You don't want to be married to me.
Back stateside, we learn that their marriage is top news, and instead of clearing up that it was a mistake, they play along with it because it would look better for them. I don't know. I'm no lawyer, but isn't there some ethics issue that stop married couples from working the opposite ends of the same case? Another fucking montage? Shit, man. This film gives Rocky a run for its money. Either way, they seem to be enjoying their fake married life while the big court battle is still going on. But Daniel finds some information that he shouldn't have. He brings it up and shit hits the fan.
Husband over there forked out $4 million on a love shack for his mistress in Aspen.
How do you know that?
Yeah, some conflict of interest maybe. Whatever. Aubrey needs to go back to the castle because her client isn't supposed to be there. As it turns out, both the rock star and the wife are there and they decided to mend their marriage. Somehow Daniel is there too and Aubrey and Daniel find out they aren't really married. Yeah, kind of figured that out. I mean, I have no idea how marriage works, but I feel getting married in a foreign land doesn't really make it real without documentation or anything like that. Aubrey is happy and Daniel is mad.
So, you're not a real priest?
Goodness me, no.
Another shitty montage. Both realize they are meant for each other and get married for real.
You may kiss the bride.
Whew. Alright, I didn't think I was going to make it through that. Okay, two things I want to highlight from the movie. First is Daniel's attraction to Aubrey. I know this is a film and there has to be a suspension of disbelief of events that happen, but Aubrey throughout the film made it clear of her feelings to Daniel, but he believes that she likes him, no matter how she acts towards him. Maybe it's my personal taste, but this dynamic is too whack to work. I don't feel there's any chemistry between the two. We get many times where his advances are pushed to the side, sometimes very harshly, but he doesn't care. He keeps moving forward. Finally, when he breaks, it seems to be for something that is very weak. His character isn't cemented into something. He is very pliable, even though it doesn't look like it.
He's legless. I like that. I was going to save that as a souvenir.
Second is the dynamic that is maintained between the battle of the sexes. This film was released in 2004, which doesn't seem so far back, but it has been 13 years. We still see how women have to be validated by a man to really win. It isn't overtly stated, but there are a few lines that show this dynamic.
Fine, on my own.
Oh, come on, let's be honest. You were lost until I came along. Oh, slightly metaphorical.
I don't think it's supposed to be malicious, it's just how things were seen back then. It really showed that this profession attorneys, which is mainly a male-dominated industry, the struggles of being a woman. Again, not overtly, but it does play around with the theme of divorce and how women fit into it, where the wives are trying to get money from their husbands. The main argument that is heard a lot throughout the hearings is that the man made the money, so why does the wife deserve any of it? Because she didn't earn it.
What?
I'm sorry to interrupt, Miss Woods, but are you suggesting that because the number is so large, your client is entitled to more than was agreed upon in the prenup? Because that was not your position last night.
The only one that this doesn't apply to is Moore's character, because she earned her money, but still stuck in that fight. She still has to convince others, whether it's in her personal life or in the courtroom.
So?
Woo! Didn't think I would talk so much about this film. I know I got a little political or something like that in the last point, but I believe this film is harmless and never intended to be analyzed that deeply. But it is something I wanted to point out. Anyways, I give it a 3 out of 10. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone I really know. It's a fluff love story, but it does have a few laughs. Oh, final note. When they're in Ireland, all I can hear is the Lord of the Rings theme. Does anyone else hear it, or am I crazy?